Not everybody at once. How are you?
One way to use it is give them a sheet with a part of the dialogue on it.
Okay.
Some of the words blanked out.
Perfect.
And they have to fill in the blanks.
Excellent.
Questions about the content. And after the program's over, questions about the content.
Perfect. Exactly. Yeah. You're leading me right into here. You guys ever see the movie In a World? You like that? Yeah. It was about accents and all these things, right? So I love to have this conversation about accents. You know, which accents do you like? Which accents are hard? There's that video of that girl doing there's YouTube videos of people doing multiple accents and stuff. You can play that and write down where they're from. Eventually we got to this piece though. It's an interview with Lake Bell about her movie and the accents and all of that. Of course we play the trailer just to bring everybody up to speed, but I was just going to quickly show you as homeboy, his name is...
Don, sorry.
Don told us here, you know, there's some great resources on NPR itself. This is the main page for the story, right? So download is to download the MP3. So for those of you who have spotty internet, download is right here. You can download the MP3, throw it on your flash drive, and it's good to go. Usually there's a brief summary of the story or, you know, interview highlights. And then, of course, a little transcript. These are great. All right, tons of listening practice to come for this. As Don said, I usually create a little sheet here. Maybe some discussion questions up front, you know, favorite accents, ugly accents in your own language. Boys and girls have different, so that's a 10, 15, 20-minute discussion on the front end. Maybe some vocabulary words. You can go through really quick as you're listening, like, they're not going to know what this means. So you can have them look it up, explain it to each other. As Don said, some comprehension questions. You just listen once, jot down some questions. This whole thing takes about 10, 15 minutes to do. So these are comprehension. This one I did the other day. I played the piece once for them and told them, listen for these answers. Okay, listen for these answers. And then we checked them, and they got most of them, you know, pretty well. And then I gave them the transcript. Copy and pasted the transcript to a Google Doc or a Word doc. And then, just as Don said, I went through and took out certain words. What words did I take out here?
Prepositions.
Prepositions. Who has a student who's perfect with prepositions at any level? Yeah. This is a constant fight, you know. So there's a couple. So I take the transcript. Once you get pretty quick with shortcuts and going through these, you know, you just take this, copy it, and then if this were a preposition, paste it. And now it's a blank, right? Read through it once, you know, this is just a couple minutes, not too bad. One way you could do this, give them the transcript before and say, what prepositions do you think would go in here? You know, work with a partner, argue, is this on, is this in, it's over, right? And then you can check with listening, or as I did it the other day, I just played it again and said, you guys, this is a speed activity. They're going to talk fast, follow along, write in as many prepositions as you can. The first listening was listening for this information. You know, so it's kind of listening for keywords, that slower type of listening. And I told them this is like wind sprints in soccer practice or something. This is a different listening skill to make you more well-rounded. They did pretty good, my level 7s did. You know, they got about 80% of them. Just ran it, they filled them in. Of course, we check as groups, then we check together, and then we discuss some of the aspects of the article, the answers to that, and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be a listening. Other things I find troubles, and the articles, you know, so if you find a short, like Huffington Post piece or Gothamist piece, take 2 minutes before and kill those out, take those out in little blanks and have them as a group try to figure out and or the. Again, it gives them a reason to read the article. You know, if you just throw a full article at them, they get 20% through it and then, you know, they have no reason to read the rest of it. This gives them an actual language-based reason to dive in and care about it. And when you go through these as a group too, they like place bets on which, you know, preposition this will be, and there's a lot of like, you know, in-your-face type language going on. But again, something as simple as, oh, it's just an article. It's a 4-minute listening. You know, this expands out with the discussions and listenings and the grammar stuff in here. This expands out to an hour, hour and a half, and, you know, even more beyond that. Not that long to do. It just takes, you know, 10, 15 minutes before class. Or as my students are writing their letters, I can run this really quick. You know, kind of multitasking, couple stones with one bird. That's what I say. Yeah?
So the transcripts, usually come with the, on NPR?
Yeah, NPR, especially if it's a day later, they will have everything right here for you at the top. Yeah, listen to the story,
Wow.
download it if you don't have the internet at a later time, and the transcript will be right here.
Kind of made for us.
Everything after 2012 on NPR. After
Wow.
2012 is on his transcript.
And you know,
50%
NPR,
otherwise.
it's you know, TED Talks do the same thing. TED Talks, you guys use TED Talks and all. These are a bit longer. You know, they purposely put them up to 18 minutes based on our attention span. But TED Talks have transcripts as well with them. Same thing applies. You know, you can just copy them and paste them, so on and so forth. Those are at least two that I like to use in class. Yeah. Questions? Taylor.
So, of course, there are so many resources for advanced students, right? If you're looking at high intermediate or above, and it's a lot more challenging to find easy materials, authentic materials for low-level students. I wanted to put it out to you guys if there's any resources or any kinds of activities that have worked well for you with low-level students in lab.
Like one of my favorite websites is just Breaking News English because it's got so many activities already prepared, and it's got them in level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3. So
Yeah, if you look on the last page of your agenda, I have a list of resources that I found for lower level students from beginner to intermediate. And yeah, I think Breaking News English is there, it's the first one. It has a lot of prepared activities, handouts, vocabulary, everything, right? And it's real news content. Right? There's also Voice of America, it's pretty similar. Have any of you ever used We Are New York?
Yeah, I've used it.
Yes?
Yeah, and it's really good. Yeah, it's quite fun. I recommend the videos, they're hilarious.
Yeah. AJ, going back to your soap operas, there's a really great soap opera here. It's Asthma soap opera. It's excellent. This is a really, really great resource for local students who are lower level proficiency. I don't know how many of those you get in the lab classes in your branches, but it's also something that you might want to use in your regular classes if you're teaching the everyday English or weekend.
Which one did you say for that one?
We Are New York.
Oh, that one.
It's like these TV episodes, all the topics are for people in New York, right? Healthcare, education, like aimed towards parents. They're really funny, like TV episodes, and they have low-level readers that go along with it, and activities and lesson plans, and it's an amazing resource for that population, and it's all free.
I see you have a reference for phrasal verbs. I use a program called ingvid.com, and they're 5 to 7 minute videos. It's awesome.
Invalid?
Ingvid, E-N-G.vid, Ingvid,
Ah, he has an English.
and it's amazing. It's on Facebook, and I can't tell you how many of my students use it on a daily basis
Good.
on their phones.
Okay.
So many of them have come to me and say, thank you for telling me about it. 5 to 7 minutes. They've got a variety of teachers that you can choose from, and
It's free?
It's free. I mean, they do expressions. It's great. And there's another program out of India, British English. It's called Let's Talk English. They're also very good. I mean, you know, it's British English, but still
It's English.
Yeah. It's
.com or
sorry?
is it .com or?
Yeah, ingvid.com. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
So I also have a list of authentic resources, online resources for advanced students or higher level students. I'm going to email this out to everybody, so you don't actually have to go type in the link. And if anyone, and I will also post it on the drive. So if anybody has something to add to that, please do. It's of course, yeah, it's much harder to find authentic materials like articles and videos that really work for level 1, right? But you can use other things like menus or flyers or other materials that you find. And also another thing that might be great to do with lower levels is excursions. Okay, so I want to talk about that for a minute. There are some procedures with excursions because we don't want students to arrive and not have their class be there, right? And it's a little bit harder with Fridays because you only see them once a week. some cases. So you do have to do a little bit of planning and maybe plan a couple weeks ahead for an excursion. We can also make sure that your students are informed. If they happen to be absent, you might see them during the week if they're in the school in other classes, or you can ask the coordinator to let them know. But the most important thing is you have to tell the coordinator and the front desk about it in advance, right? So everyone's informed that you're leaving the school, and you have to take attendance in the school and ideally wait until everyone's present. If everyone in your class shows up in 5 minutes, then okay, maybe that's fine. You can go as long as you check that there are no new students joining. Otherwise, probably you want to wait 30 minutes or so, and you would be doing, in that time, setting up the excursion, right? So here in Midtown, it's easy to do excursions because we have a lot of sites nearby, right? So there's obvious places that you can go here. In Jackson Heights and Upper West Side, it might be a little more difficult to find, really famous places that are nearby, but you can go, like Mike was saying before, to the market to do a scavenger hunt, or go to a clothing store, right? Or visit other regular places in the neighborhood. Yes.
I mean, the 7th train is known as the International Express as well, so
There
you
you
can go
go.
to different neighborhoods and find different cultural sort of things.
Absolutely, right? So Mike, you were describing how you do the photo scavenger hunts for lower levels.
Yeah, so.
The nature one?
I'll talk about this one example for the nature. If I have like a lower level and we're doing nature, then I like to go to Central Park and I just do animal vocabulary or nature vocabulary. So in the fall, give me a picture of fall foliage. Now, they probably don't know what foliage is, and I'm not going to tell them what foliage is. It's their job to find out what foliage is by asking someone in the park.